You are listening to Rocket Shop Radio Hour here at Big Heavy World. I'm your host, Abby BK, and with us in the studio tonight, we have the Shady Trees. How are you guys?
Hello, hello.
Very good.
Yeah, welcome in. And welcome to the studio. And I would love to just go around in a circle and just have everyone introduce their name and their instrument this evening.
My name's Micah Sangbadolsi. I sing and play guitar.
Zach, and I play the drums.
I'm Jason. I play the bass.
And I'm Jesse, and I play guitar also.
Sweet. And Jesse and Micah, you're brothers, correct?
That is correct, yes.
That's true.
So how long have you two been playing music together?
Well, obviously, music was around the house when we were younger. Our dad was playing out in bands, and you couldn't help but play even as kids. I think we kind of, as we grew up, had different music stuff going on all the time, and it wasn't until, I don't know, maybe 2011 or 12 this band started.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been awesome.
Yeah, we've been playing music together for a long time. Jesse showed me things on the piano when I was super young, and he's taught me many things on the guitar.
Yeah, but then he got really, really good at piano.
Yeah,
Really,
it
really
goes
good at
back and forth, right? It's the brother thing.
It
Yeah.
does.
So what made you want to solidify the band together?
That's a great question, Abby. Well, we were both kind of in the midst of changing the bands that we were in, adding people, taking people away, and we were working on your truck one day, and
That's
we were
right.
just like, dude, we should just play music together, because he lives out in Hyde Park, which is an hour from where I live in Colchester here. But then we decided, let's do it. So I've been making that drive down 15. Let's do the band thing.
Yeah. No, totally. And the projects that you were in before, were they like similar genres, or were you both doing kind of different types of music?
Yeah, kinda. So here's a little history of how maybe it all came together, I guess.
Yeah.
I was playing in a band called 7 Pounds of Pork back then. Micah was playing in Domestic Blend in college, right? He traveled for a little bit and then came back and he got in the Aerolites. Jason and I at the time had also had this other little project called Charles Candy, which we actually did a Rocket Shop, I don't know, a few years back.
Years ago.
Yeah, maybe a long time ago. When it was in the old location, that was cool. And then, my band at the time, and Jason and I had played through little projects back then as well, some other little bands kicking around the mountains, and some of the guys from the Pork started the Shady Trees with me, and then Micah came back from traveling, and we had like a guy leaving, and it all just kind of like it worked out, and then so at that time the band was like myself, Micah, this keyboard player Mike Richards, Robbie Bowen on the kit, and Jason Weeks on bass, and they were traveling. Like Jason was in New Hampshire and he was traveling for shows and stuff, and then time goes on, right? And we're like so fortunate to have Zach come and play drums for us for the last like 3-4 years now, right?
Maybe even 5.
More.
Maybe
We were
even
doing
5
double drums
now.
for a little bit, like
Yeah.
for a minute.
Yeah, Robbie had his first kid, so
Yeah,
it's like, can't play in a band, man.
Mm-hmm.
and it's been awesome lately because we've had a lot more time and we've had a lot more ability to kind of like get in rehearsals, and we're working on putting out an album, and it's been a busy seasons.
Yeah.
It's been great.
That's awesome. How often are you all convening to rehearse?
We pretty much rehearse weekly or bi-weekly, and then we'll have like kind of chunks where we'll do a ton, like a bunch of shows and a bunch of rehearsals all at once, and then maybe have a little downtime here or there, But
Yeah, this year we
Weekly,
kind of took the fall off a little bit because we were working
Couple
on this
times a
album, and life comes up. Everybody gets busy, so it's like we need a little bit off. But we still been getting together for practice. Try for once a week.
Yeah, no, definitely. And in terms of your writing process, so take us through that a bit more. Like, who's coming up with what, and what does that collaboration look like between the four of you?
Well, when Jason joined the band, he had a nice practice space in his basement. So I think when he joined the band, we were like, what's our new kind of sound? And it was more kind of funky. So we all wrote a song together. Like when Jason joined the band, that was the one you just heard before. It was called Payphone. It'll be on the album. But that was like we all kind of added a part here and there. Other than that, I tend to write kind of music and words.
I think a lot of times, like I'll come with a song that's kind of like mostly, written, and I think Micah does a lot too. You'll hear a lot of like the song structures are like there's it's kind of premeditated in that way, but
then
everybody
chunks
kind
get
of
added.
like everybody's bringing their own thing too,
Or like
so,
a riff or something.
And then we usually try to keep, I'd say it's about half and half, like as far as the vocal songs anyway that we'll write and bring, that we try to play. And then, recently we've been working on a lot of like stuff that we've been writing collectively, which has been a new look at it, and that's been awesome because it's coming up with, it's like a fresh look at it. It's a little fresh coat of paint or something, I don't
it's
know.
like, here's a bass line. What can you guys put on this part, And then we'll all add a piece. And then, let's do this other funk guitar part, and what can we add to that,
Yeah, no,
It's kind
definitely.
of organically happens.
So when you are bringing something to the group, what tends to come to you first when you're writing? Like, do you hear, is it like you're playing the guitar and you have a tune that you're playing? Or are you thinking of lyrics first? Does it vary?
That's a good question. I have a tendency to like latch onto melodies, I think, and then, things that I definitely write a lot, like from personal outlook and experience and stuff, and then also with an attempt to kind of be vague, so it still allows people to just kind of put their own thoughts into it as well. It's like it all means something to me. Put it in a song, these guys put their stamps on it, and my hope is that it kind of like catches people in that way where they can kind of relate to it in whatever they have going on, or whatever.
Right.
But words, writing lyrics is also, sometimes it's the lyric first, sometimes it's the melody. I don't know, it's a 50-50, it's a toss.
Yeah, for me, it definitely goes both ways. I have a lot of music like stored on my iPhone, and then, something in life happens, or you're listening to the news or something, and then I'll write a little note down on my notes, and it'll be this like mini poem, and then I'll be like, oh, the music for that is from like a couple weeks ago, and I can kind of like mush them together.
Yeah, definitely.
But it does happen every which way.
Yeah,
The
I'm
best
sure.
ones come instantly.
Yeah, and the voice memos always get so flooded. There's never any storage on a musician's phone.
Yep.
Very
Yeah.
true.
Awesome. Well, we'd love to hear your first song of the night. So what have you got?
Sure, this one's called Hotel Columbo. Been waiting to rest here for months or so. The sun grabbed them from his pockets, exposed them glow. And the yellow from the hotel opened up each day with a yawn and a smile and a friendly face. Umbrellas in the view from the left to right. Hot smooth beach sand and white waves in sight. Play a game to 21, returning sparkles to the shore. Methods and a lively play. What's the score? They just never know what could happen next at Columbo. They just never know if their future will bring them gold. There's a teeny little gecko and he's chilling on the wall. His intentions and reflections over known to them all. Teeny little gecko, but he's not in the way. So Brittany has a pet that she gained today. Sangria at the Swiss are a nice stroll to see. The soft breeze that hits the moon so silently. Never cloud in the sky. Timing seems to fit. Future of them all will slowly be near. They just never know what could happen next at Columbo. They just never know if their future won't bring them gold. So the sun grabbed them from his pockets, exposed them glow. And the yellow from the hotel opened up each day with a yawn and a smile and a friendly face. Umbrellas in them from the left to right. Hot smooth beach sand and white waves inside. They play a game to 21, returning sparkles to the shore. Mountains analyze each place. Say, what's that for? They just never know what could happen next at Columbo. They just never know if their future will bring them home. They just never know what could happen next at Columbo. They just never know.
The Shady Trees with Hotel Columbo. So I was just taking a look at your Spotify here. So that one was from your last album. So tell me a little bit more about your last album, which was, I mean, still recent, 2024, and
Sure.
how that kind of differs from this new project that you're working on.
Sure. Well, we did it's called the Lost Nation Sessions. Man, you can find it everywhere. But we did it out at Lost Nation Brewery in Morrisville.
Couple different tracks from a couple different shows. We did a string of, I don't know, 3 times in the season there.
Yep.
We
So
kind of like
one of our friends out there,
selected,
Phil.
Yep.
Phil Rosenblum,
Phil
you know,
Rosenblum
he
engineered
recorded
that.
it when we played. We played, what, 2 or 3 shows live? And then we kind of took the best, the best
Yeah.
chunks, and then
Made some selections from that.
and that's what's on that album.
And then we
Yeah.
we took it to Joe Egan and had it, final like EQs and mixes and stuff. So
Yeah, and he
shout
mastered
out
it
to
for
Phil
us.
and Joe there as well.
Yep.
That's sweet.
And then, and how it's the new one we did, we tracked in the studio with Joe as well. So that's something that we're working on. We actually just kind of finished the masters for it, so we'll be putting that out real soon.
Yep, and there's some overlap, so you get to hear like what we sound like live versus like studio, because that's our first like album we've put out. I mean, we've been playing live
It's true,
since
there are a couple songs that you're
2014,
gonna find on
but
both of those.
yeah.
Yeah. No, that was going to be one of my questions. Like, how would you describe the difference between like the live sound versus like the studio production? Because I mean, I like both, but sometimes it's cool to hear the live versions of songs just because there is like a certain element to the room and the people there. So I'm curious what your thoughts are about that.
100%. You're totally right about that. Crowd energy is awesome, and I think you get a lot of great, like when you feel that, the songs just happen to come out really good. We had a couple of good moments like that in those particular gigs. We tracked most things live, so we were like kind of doing it similar to what we're doing here, for the new studio one too. So I think a major difference that I noticed was that we really took some time kind of like honing in on certain things, and when you're playing live, it's like a song kind of has age, so it's like when a song's young, it might not have all the things that it's grown into, and that was, we took some time to let that develop when we were making the tracks with Joe recently, and so that was a good difference. It was kind of like we polish a couple things and add a couple things, and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We were forced to write a few things that were sort of ambiguous.
Yeah.
always.
Yeah, into the mic here, buddy. Try it. Say it again.
I was just saying we were sort of forced into writing certain parts that had been ambiguous parts live. They always sort of had their own direction depending on the mood of the night or whatever. But it was okay. We're going to put this down on wax. We got to make it into something, right?
Right.
We picked something and go with it, and now it's forever.
Set in stone.
That's how we play it live most of the time. Some of those,
Yeah.
That's true.
No, definitely. So, how many songs on this new project are like duplicates of the last one? Do you have some new ones as well?
I think we get a couple of mine come through twice there, but yeah, I think 2 of them are overlaps.
Okay. Yeah.
You know,
Got it. And yeah. Well, tell us a little bit more about the new songs, I guess, then. So, how did you go through the process of figuring out which ones you wanted to include on the project? And why did you choose the ones also that were repeated?
So Jason, at his nice studio in his basement has a dry erase board, which he brought down. I don't know if it was your kids or it came from your refrigerator or something, but he brought that down. We wrote all our songs on that, which is, I think we got like 30 tunes, maybe something like that, 35, and we just crossed out ones. We were like, nah, it's not. That's like a live song. Some are meant to be played live, I feel like, and they're meant for that.
Yeah.
Some are songs from like the past in other bands that live through, Jesse and I, and we keep them alive in this band, and they're not meant to really go on a CD, So it's kind of like that. And we whittled it down.
Yeah.
And there's 7 tracks on this one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask how many. Because I feel like also to a lot of artists, the order of which they put them in also matters, especially with a longer project like an album. Like, was that something that you were thinking about as well with like the flow of the songs?
Yeah, we definitely thought about it. We talked about it. We had the pads out when we were doing kind of the final mixing the other night. Talking about how we wanted it to be ordered. I think we play such a variety of music. It's a really eclectic. It jumps all over the place. And so sometimes for us, we were talking about what flows, and how does it work throughout the course of an album. And then we also try to be conscious of like kind of having a Micah song, a Jesse song, an instrumental, and not like smashing too much with one person all at once sort of thing and spreading it out. So all of that stuff came into play, and I think we did a pretty good job. We're happy with how it came out. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they're all mostly different. Each
Mhm.
and every one.
Totally. Yeah, I love that you're doing albums. Last week I was talking with our guest, and we were talking about, it might have been off air, but so many people are just releasing singles now, which is totally fine, totally cool too. But I think with people short attention spans, it's kind of like the singles era.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what your thoughts are about, like why an album, and also, I mean, albums are a complete story, right? And why do you kind of like releasing something in that package versus singles?
Well, I mean, you're right in that, like, the world today, it's like you got to be putting out music constantly. So, like,
Right.
a single is the quickest way to be doing that, right? And we've talked about this, like, putting out 3 tunes or 4 tunes. I mean, maybe we should just, like, just throw them
Yeah,
out
every time
there,
something happens, yeah.
But we never really discussed, like, there's not really a concept to this album, necessarily. It's more like a collection, because it's our, like, first studio album, so it's just more of a collection of what we all like the most
Yeah,
collectively, I guess is what I would say,
Yeah.
totally.
And I'll take that just a step further and say, like, the reason I thought it was awesome to do an album, there's something about, like, having an album, holding it. Like, I want to get a vinyl pressed, and, we're looking to do some cool art, where we have some family members that have contributed some art stuff, and, we're feeling that part of it out right now. But I think having just, the nostalgia, I still collect vinyl. It's like,
Yeah,
why? Because you love it. It's
You can hold it.
Nothing's quite like it,
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
it wasn't necessarily like we made this with the intention of doing a vinyl or anything like that. I'm just, I think that even having art stamped to it, and it has imagery, and it has like, just gives it a little life.
totally. Yeah, I love vinyl. So when are you hoping to release it? Like any spoilers that you could share?
I think, right?
Any day. We got some artwork that needs to be done, and so maybe like a month or so.
Sweet.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to keep our eyes peeled over here at Big Heavy World.
Yeah, we got to figure out like where we're gonna kind of do like a release party.
Yeah.
If we do a vinyl, we were gonna do that at 10 Bends, but
Right. Yeah.
there's some, discussions that will have to be.
Yeah. Still
Made.
deliberating.
Yep.
Sweet. Well, we'd love to hear your second song, so go right ahead.
What are we doing here?
I think they call it Seasons.
Yeah, seasons.
Cool. Well, this is one that you can hear on both the live and one that we did redo in the studio. So we hope you enjoy it.
shout. Yes, we were in love for goodness sake. A kind of love you just don't pay. And I'll tell you 'cause this dark is mine. And the wheel it keeps on turning all the time. Well, I remember sitting round counting stars while the sun went down, and the leaves from the trees are falling to the ground. Seasons of change are falling on this town. All I wanted was to be with you. Hope you wanted to be with me too. Ashes to ashes, it all falls down. Seasons of change are falling on this town. For our place now found. So we light it up and pass it around. Yes, it's how them better days are often found. Where we were in love for goodness sake. A kind of love you just don't. And I'll tell you 'cause there's only time keeps you moving farther down the line. Well, I remember sitting round counting stars while the sun went down, and the leaves from the trees are falling to the ground. Seasons of change are falling on this town. All I wanted was to be with you. Hope you wanted to be with me too. Ashes to ashes, it all falls down. Seasons of change are falling on this town. The sun went, and the leaves from the trees are falling to the ground. Seasons of change are falling on this. All I wanted was to be with you. Hope you wanted to be with me too. Ashes to ashes, it all falls down. Seasons of change are falling on this. Ashes to ashes, it all falls down. Seasons of change are falling on this. Ashes to ashes, it all falls down.
Seasons, the Shady Trees. So tell us a little bit more about what gigging looks like for you. So you mentioned Lost Nation, obviously recording your last project. But where are you liking playing, and how often are you trying to get out there and gig?
Right. So what we did last year in the wintertime, we're doing it again, we did the Slopeside Hustle, is what we called that little run of shows. And we tried to just kind of play ski resorts around. Vermont, and we went out to Sunday River a couple times, and that was kind of what our winter looks like. We're playing a couple of other upcoming gigs. One being we're playing at the Wolcott Town Hall, so they're starting to do town hall shows, which is a really nice space, a nice room. So that's going to be on November the 29th for all of you folks who want to come out and see a show. And that's a really, really cool little room. So, after that, we were kind of doing some more resort. We got some JP coming up. We got some Stowe. We've got some Bolton. And we're kind of still booking everything as we go. We kind of get busy, have, times where we get busier. Summertime, we did some JP. We're at Camp Mead.
Right. We've also
various
been
other
talking about
shows.
searching for that the better gig, I guess, because we've played a lot of bars around Vermont and New Hampshire, and it's like, well, let's focus on what we want to do, and we all like to snowboard and ski, so we're like, let's go to the ski resorts and see if we can't also get a pass, and so we're trying that for a couple years, I guess, but whatever comes our way, we're trying to work on doing some festivals for next summer.
Oh, cool.
You gotta book these things early.
Yeah.
These things book up like super early, so, and it's all about who you know, and you just gotta find that name, that contact.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the resorts. I mean, that's a smart idea. I'm sure that you get some good crowds there. Do you get free ski tickets? That's pretty awesome if they do
At
give
some
you
of the
that.
places, yeah.
Some of them, yeah.
Some do, and
That's
some
sweet.
don't.
Yeah. They still offer discounted either way, but
Yeah. Nice.
There's free lift tickets.
That's definitely a perk. Well, so also I was going to ask, so in your own time, what kind of music are you guys listening to? Do you listen to like a wide range? Is there anything that you've been liking listening recently to?
You want to field that, or am I?
Yeah, sure. I mean, a little bit of everything is an easy answer to say, I would guess.
Yeah.
I've been feeling the instrumental funk lately.
Hmm.
It's been coming up a lot on the Spotify. A couple awesome playlists of that out there. Reggae's always kind of circling around. There's kind of like a little bit of reggae undertones as you can hear with the band and everything. So it's cool to keep that fresh in the ears, get some new ideas and stuff like that. And I listen to like death metal and crazy hardcore stuff too, and bluegrass. So I really like to kind of get as much in my ears as possible, and if it can influence you somehow, maybe even just a little part from each tune or something like that, you just pick stuff up along the way. It makes you a better player and a better listener and all that kind of stuff too. So
Totally.
Yeah, isn't that funny how you'll hear something, and then it's like, sometimes you'll hear something from any little tidbit of music, and then immediately be like, oh, I gotta figure that out real quick, and then somehow it becomes in the bag of tricks, I guess, or whatever. And it's not the song, it's like a little move or like a little run or whatever, a beat. I like
That's
that.
true,
The
yeah.
instrumental funk has definitely been kind of prevalent, I think, in my ears lately. Yeah. That's what you're here for. That's what he lives for.
Nice. Yeah. Any other thoughts?
I mean, like you said, it's all over the board. I mean, I was listening to some classical, Thus Spake Zarathustra the other day. It's
Nice.
like that song just it's like any other. Jazz, I love jazz. Mingus, love Mingus. Schofield, Soul Live.
Yeah, that's all good stuff.
Bill Frisell. I like Bill Frisell a lot.
Yeah.
But also, it kind of depends on what I'm doing, and I'll pick certain musics. So, I was listening to Hermanos Guitars. Have you ever heard of them?
No, I haven't.
No, these guys are great. It's just really, smooth Latin, two
Okay.
guitars
Oh, nice.
with, a delay pedal. And one guy plays a lap steel sometimes, but they're incredible if you want to, relax. So it's kind of, for the moment
Right.
is what I listen to.
Yeah.
When I'm working, I like the instrumental funk. I just boom, Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I was wondering. I mean, you said that you're kind of a blend of a couple different projects and ideas, so that makes sense. Awesome. Well, why don't we have you play your third song of the evening?
Okay. Yeah, this one's a Micah.
Sure. Yeah, this one's called Full Circle.
Right.
yeah.
to explain. Impulse, it will always remain. Well, idea, and it's something that you think of and heard. Life, impulse, and idea. It keeps going round and round and round and round and round. It keeps going round and round till it comes full circle. It keeps going round and round and round and round and round. It keeps going round and round till it comes full circle. Mind, and it makes you think. Mystery, and it keeps you guessing. Motivation, and we could all use a little bit more. Red earth, these are my mystery motivation. Keeps going round and round and round and round and round. It keeps going round and round till it comes full circle. Keeps going round and round and round and round and round. It keeps going round and round till it comes full circle. It keeps going round and round till it comes full circle. Keeps going round, round and round and round. It keeps going round and round till it comes full circle.
Full circle. Sweet. So that's a new one, right, for the new project?
Yeah, it's fairly new. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we've been playing it for a year or two, but yeah, that's on the album coming
Okay,
up.
sweet.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about it. Like, what inspired you to write this one, Micah?
Ooh, I mean, it's a kind of an older tune that has morphed into what it is today.
Yeah.
I should say, it's I don't want to like say what it's about. It's about life, basically, right?
Yeah.
And it's about loving somebody and what that person means. I guess that's what that song is.
Yeah. The full circle moment.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. In it, it's like I used to call it mind, mystery, motivation, and I changed it to full circle with this band because it makes more sense like now to me that
Yeah.
like what I'm talking about in that song, it comes full circle.
Totally. Yeah.
did I
As
just
things
did I
do,
just
man,
run
as
us
they
in?
do.
I just ran us in a circle, as I was saying.
No, it's okay. It's always interesting because meanings of songs can change over time. So it's interesting that you say that. Do you find that that happens with like a lot of songs that you write as well, that like meanings kind of evolve with you?
Yeah, I mean the songs you write definitely change over time if you keep on editing them. I mean for sure, but like what they mean to you definitely. It's like going back and reading a book you read in high school and then rereading it. It's like, oh, this I did not know what this is about, you know?
Right. No, totally. Awesome. Well, we are kind of coming up to the last few minutes of the show here. So I do want to give you guys just the chance to let us know once again how we can listen to your music, support you best. And yeah, the floor is yours just to plug your music and
Right
let
on.
us know.
Well, we're the Shady Trees. This is Vermont made mountain music. You know, I think that's what it kind of all comes down to. We're just a bunch of guys out here, and we are trying to make an awesome album and an awesome musical show every time we go out. Come check out a live show if you want to show support. Go support any live music, all live music. I think that's where I want to be when I'm not playing music, if I have the opportunity. And everybody should come out and see a show. We got, merch, stickers, all that stuff. If you come and you want to support, that's what funds it. That's what funds the record making and the movement, the forward momentum.
Yep. And you can find our shows and all that stuff at our website, www.theshadytreesvt.com.
That's right.
That's where our that's where our booking email is. And
if you really want to go down the rabbit hole, we have, 50 or so shows on archive.org that we have,
that we've uploaded onto live music.
taped and released, or just doing that over the course of the band's existence. And come see a show. Come get on the bus.
What's the new album name?
You know,
Gonna drop it already?
the new album name. Are we set on it?
Do we get a spoiler?
Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe we should.
Let's wait.
Or the anticipation?
The album is going to be called A Flora Borealis.
Mhm.
And we have a song it's not on any of the albums, but it's called Aurora Borealis. So it's always been part of the band's kind of like chemical makeup. You have these like cornerstone things that have been in it for a long time. And
What's going
you know,
on
we were
tonight?
thinking like
The auroras?
there you
Oh,
go.
no way.
Last
Really?
night, and well, it's cloudy, but
Yeah.
I was thinking that with the flora and the fauna. Well, the trees are the flora. And so here we go.
Flora Borealis.
Well, that's perfect timing then to announce if it's, happening tonight. Awesome. Well, I'll let you play us out with your last tune.
Hey, we
Yeah,
want to thank
thanks.
you so much, Abby, for having us on. And thanks everybody at Big Heavy World
thank you,
who
guys.
keeps this
It's been
running.
awesome.
Keep it going. Support live music, like Jesse was saying. We love the show. Love what you're doing. So this next one's called North Country. It's about this place where we all live and love.
Wake up in the morning, I feel the sunlight off, so I can do the morning dew. Take a breath of freshness, greenery fills my mind and my body too. Don't take it for granted, the seeds that we have planted may take root here a while. my day by walking farther on into what we do. Looking back upon the valley, know that my day ended, I had done some good. And I don't take these things for granted, cause I know I'm gonna be around to see them through. North Country living has given me so much I can be thankful for. Wind blows cold and the trees grow old. They share their wisdom with you if you feel like listening. Should've known better than to put it in a letter sent off to some people who don't really care. In the winter time, smoke is curling round a mountain top. I'll burn a fire and keep you warm when you're coming in from outside. A man's measure is only what he treasures enough and keeps it in his heart. In his heart of hearts. The North Country living has given me so much I can be thankful for. Wind blows cold and the trees grow old. They share their wisdom with you if you feel like listening. Should've known better than to put it in a letter sent off to some people who don't really care. Country, in this North Country, in this North Country, in this North Country. The North Country living has given me so much I can be thankful for. The wind blows cold and the trees grow old. They share their wisdom with you if you feel like listening. Should've known better than to put it in a letter sent off to some people who don't really care.
North Country by the Shady Trees. Well, thank you all once again for coming on the show. This has been awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, and everyone listening, thanks for tuning in as always. We won't have Rocket Shop next week or the following, but we will be back on December 3rd with Perry the Dad, so make sure to tune in then. But as for now, this has been Rocket Shop. I'm your host, Abby BK, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Woo! Yeah, thank you.
Nice.
Sweet stuff.
Thank you. Man, getting interviews hard.